Hello, loyal viewers and subscribers. Today we're going to be doing the famous Red Ryder Daisy model, the 2000 version, I believe, the anniversary edition from 1948. It's relatively very similar, except this lever right here, the lever, it's plastic instead of metal because it has to be modernized, and it's much safer and less sharp. You see, it's curved right along here for easier grip. I'll be showing that in a minute. These glasses, I got them from Walmart. You can get them especially cheap. They're pretty useful. They come with this case to keep them from getting all scratched up and stuff. You see, they're nicely protected. Keep them from getting smeared too when you're not using them. And also, these BB pellets, they're pretty useful. I've been using them for a while. They're very reliant. There's lots of them, as you know. The Red Ryder Daisy BB gun can hold well over 600, around approximately 600 BBs, not pellets. This isn't a pellet gun. So in a little while we're going to be using it. So yeah, let's get started. All right, guys. So now I'm loading up the BB gun. As you see, this is about 10 to 15 pellets. It's going in through this way. Remember, we always load it through this way. There's no real other way to load it. And so you put a few in there. It's okay if a few ways, it's not a big deal. So basically, they're all in there, basically. Now, I'm gonna shoot it. So here we go. And I'm putting on my goggles, make sure they're right. They fit right. Now I'm gonna fire. Alright, when you're loading them, you see that's the safety. Right now the safety is off. Right now it's on. That doesn't allow the trigger to be shot. But now it's not on. It's off. We can now fire. Make sure it's fully loaded. Pull it all the way. Snap it back. And we're ready to fire. As you can see, I just missed. A lot of times the pellets will ricochet and they'll bounce back, so that's why we got these on. And usually these will come with a little string, but I don't know what it is now. But it'll come with a little string, and with that string you can it'll basically hang over your face, like a lot of goggles, and you can just have them like this when you're not actually using them, but when you want to keep up with them. All right, so here we are. We're gonna fire again, and we're gonna try that target. So now we're firing this gun. I'm gonna aim at that target to get a closer shot at because that target's a little close to the bushes, but we'll worry about that later. Right now we're gonna focus on that one. It's a little close, but typically you don't want to be very close when you're firing any type of firearm or gun or air gun or any type. But with the Daisy Red Ryder, it's pretty safe as long as everyone has on their goggles. Yeah. So here we are. We're gonna fire at this water jug, and I'm not gonna miss. You can see it was strong enough to knock it down, and you likely heard a ricochet. And so with that being done, a lot of times it'll ricochet and bounce off something again, and you might think it'll stop there, but a lot of times it'll hit again and again, and sometimes that's enough to hit you, and the ricochet is just powerful enough to put an eye out. Imagine being shot by one of these into the eye. Moving on, we have that second target, the water bottle. We're gonna try to get it from another stance because I need to be able to aim it more perfectly. And as you can see, the scope the sensor has to be aligned just right with the middle. It has to be aligned just right in order to get the target in. The order for there to be more accuracy within the target range. So we have that accuracy. Here we are. We're firing again. You have to make sure it's, see, rookie mistake, not a mistake made. We're gonna, as you can see, we just hit the bottle. It's pretty powerful, and you can hear the the BB bounce behind me, and yeah, that's a pretty powerful shot. Get closer. Alright, with this bottle, there's no particular holes in it this time, but usually the pellet will be strong, the BB will be strong enough to go inside. Normally with this BB gun, the BB will be at least a little powerful enough to get inside of the bottle and like put a hole in it, but that depends on where you shoot it, because a lot of times where the water is, it's a lot more dense and you can see a lot more damage, and it's more likely to bounce off or go in depending on how much water is in it. Like I said, this bottle, this gun, the strength of the BB, the Red Ryder, it depends a lot on its age. So if you have a relatively old one, it likely won't be as powerful, to say the least, and the spread will probably be a lot more high. So now we're gonna try to hit it from this angle. See, now it's about the same length from where I hit the previous bottle, the smaller one over there. But this time we're just gonna try to put a hole in this water jug here. Okay. So here we are. We're gonna hit it. Make sure it's loaded all the way. Safety is off. It's red. We're gonna fire. All right, we're gonna check that out in a little while, but first, it's important to remember this string right here is just for authentic looks, because back in the day, people loved cowboys, and they likely heard stories of their grandparents and great-grandparents back in the 1940s, you know, on the old frontier or whatnot, or just stories and tales of in comic books of people in the in the 1800s on the old frontier. One particular, it was literally called the Red Ryder, that comic book, and it was probably back in the 40s and 50s, from what I know. In the 30s, people loved the Wild West, and this is like a relic. This is actually modeled after the gun from within the comic book that was so popular in the comic book. And yeah, this is actually was a very popular model back then, and it still is today. If you notice in the movie A Christmas Story, the boy, he grew up. The movie was actually based in the 50s, and back then people really liked cowboys. Before, you know, people took off to space or whatnot, people really liked cowboys, and he ended up getting he wanted a BB gun, and moms and dads are like, if you're worried that this could put your kid's eye out, don't worry, it can. But when you're wearing these goggles, just remember that you have to be very careful, and sometimes supervision is necessary. But if you trust your child, depending on their age, like if they're 8 and up, it's good to try this. Okay, so here we are.